It sounds absurd. Your doctor says you need care, but before you can get it, someone else has to approve it first. That process is called prior authorization, and in the US, it has quietly become a huge business inside healthcare. On paper, prior authorization is supposed to control costs and make sure care is appropriate. But in practice, it has also created a massive administrative machine between doctors, patients, and payment. This is not a small paperwork problem. The AMA says the average physician handles about 39 prior authorization requests per week, and physician practices spend about 13 hours a week on the process. Health Affairs says providers and payers deal with tens of millions of prior authorizations each year in the US, with an estimated annual administrative cost of about $35 billion. Once a process gets that large, entire businesses grow around it. Provider groups hire staff just to work prior authorizations. Revenue cycle teams build workflows around it, and software companies sell automation tools to reduce the labor. Part of the reason that market exists is that prior authorization is still surprisingly manual. CAQH says only 35% of prior authorizations from doctors' offices are processed electronically today. And this is the part many patients do not realize. Prior authorization approval does not guarantee payment. Many insurance companies explicitly state pre-certification does not guarantee payment or coverage of all billed services. Even with approval, the patient may still owe a deductible, coinsurance, copay, or more if the provider is out of network. So prior auth is really permission for the insurer to consider coverage, not a promise that the final bill is fully covered. Denial rates vary a lot depending on the insurance program. KFF found that in Medicare Advantage, insurers made 52.8 million prior authorization determinations in 2024, and 4.1 million were fully or partially denied, a denial rate of 7.7%. In traditional Medicare's smaller prior authorization programs, the denial rate was much higher, at 22.9% in 2024. And when Medicare Advantage denials were appealed, 80.7% of those appeals were at least partially overturned. Insurers use prior authorization as a cost control tool. Providers spend money complying with it, and consultants and software companies make money helping both sides manage the process faster. That is the real business story. Prior authorization became a business because the process is so large, so repetitive, and still so operationally messy that entire teams and products now exist just to move requests from submitted to approved, or denied, more efficiently. That is why your doctor sometimes needs permission to help you. Not because medicine suddenly got simpler, but because in the US, between care and payment, healthcare built a giant administrative machine, and prior authorization became one of its most powerful moving parts.